Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. This is Let's Play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Oh look, we found an inn right after I did all of that healing. Well, I've actually got to use it anyway, probably because, I used up all my magic there during the battlefield stuff. And does this guy sell items? Well, the healing herbs are frozen, so I can't make any cure potion. Well, isn't that something? I don't need any explosives. But at least now we've gotten to the point where the ice doesn't melt even when heated. But at least now we've gotten to the point where I can start buying things, so that is good. Obviously I need to initialize the cold air made Grandma sick. And I can't go down there because it's frozen. But yeah, obviously I need to get somebody to tell me, oh, the way you fix all of this is to go to such and such place, and then that will fix it, so go there. This looks right. This door's wide open. The monster in the ice pyramid. There we go. Makes itself invisible. So, Phoebe, where's Spencer trapped? In the tunnel he was digging under here. The door is frozen solid, so you can't get out. Couldn't we melt it? Not until we get wake water from the Spring of Life, but a monster in the wintry cave stole... What? Where? I think I skipped over a line there. Stole the Libra crest, which warps us from the Libra Temple to the Life Temple. Anyway, we have to get that whatchamacallit crest back, right? Right, to the wintry cave. Yay, heal potions, right when I don't need you anymore, except I'm sure I will need them again at some point. Can I take a nap in your bed? No. Seems like I should be able to, but I won't complain. Hey, if this guy were... Does he just stand in one place? I want to explore... Oh, okay. Now please go to the right, because I want to explore... Please go to the right. Yes. Oh, I forgot I can jump over people. I forgot I had the power. And there's nothing up here anyway, so that's fine. Let's go to the wintry cave. Oh, but first, battlefields. Is this the wintry cave up here? Let's just do the wintry cave now. See how that goes. And if it doesn't go so well, then I'll go ahead and do the battlefields off screen. But regardless, I'll do the battlefields off screen this time. Yeah, when we left off in the last episode, we were kind of talking about my history with the Final Fantasy series, which kind of doesn't make much sense now that I'm thinking about it, because this is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest and not... I mean, it is what got me into the Final Fantasy series anyway, even if it's its own thing, basically. But yeah, after I played Final Fantasy V, I then got, I think it was Dawn of Souls, which was the remakes of Final Fantasy 1 and 2, on the Game Boy Advance, and loved those. Of course, they're a little clunky and ancient. You know, there's not much to them because they're the first. So, you know, it's kind of like the original Legend of Zelda. It's the prototype of what the Zelda series will eventually become. Same with Final Fantasy 1, although Final Fantasy 2 is a very strange beast. There's a lot going on in that game that is completely different than the rest of the Final Fantasy series, similar to how Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link is very different from the rest of the Zelda series. So too is Final Fantasy 2. It's just like, obviously what they were doing back in that era. And same kind of thing with Ys 3. What they were doing back in that era was, after they, for whatever reason, after they had a successful game that was going to start a franchise, the second game they just went completely crazy with and made it as far from the first game as possible, I think in effort to, like, I guess to not draw themselves into a corner, paint themselves into a corner. But but they, in practically every franchise, after that crazy second game, or in Ys's case, crazy third game, but really, Ys 3 is... Oh no, Phoebe's dead. And I don't have a life potion that I know of. I can't use her... Oh no, she's alive now. Okay. But yeah, so like Ys 3 is basically Ys 2, because Ys 1 and 2 were made at the same time and cut in half, basically. Oh my gosh, I'm blind. That's why that didn't go so well. I will use... Darn it, I used the heal potion on the wrong person. What is up here? Nothing. Okay. So, yeah. So then, like, after they went all out with these crazy, insane second games or whatever, they, then realized the error of their ways and went back to what made the first game awesome for the next game. But so yeah, so Final Fantasy II is very interesting. If you've never played it, I think you'll be shocked at how completely different it is from the rest of the Final Fantasy series. There's, instead of just talking to NPCs, you've got to like give them clue word things. It's like, oh, well, you know, you can ask them about a lot of different things, and if you ask them about the right thing by Oh yeah, I forgot this happens. This claw saved me. Here's how to use it. Select the claw, hold the A button down, and press the control pad. Now it's yours. Okay, I've got the cat claw now. But anyways, yeah, Final Fantasy 2, you have like a... When you talk to characters, sure, you can talk to them in the normal way, but then also what you can do is, it's so strange, you can select like keywords, terms that you've learned at various points, and ask them about any of those terms that you've learned about throughout the course of the game. And so that's how you advance the plot in some instances, so it's very... very unusual in that respect. And then there's also the whole like leveling up system is slightly different. It's not dramatically different, but there's like this whole separate point system that you've got to... Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, very different from any of the other Final Fantasy games I played, but still very enjoyable. And actually, even though it's so old, I mean super old, the plot is still pretty gosh darn good. But yeah, so I played Final Fantasy 1 and 2. So if you're keeping track, the order in which I played the Final Fantasy series is 4, then 6, then 5, then 1 and 2, and then eventually Final Fantasy 3, the actual 3, was released for there was a remake done for the DS. So I like to make fun of hipsters, but I've kind of got some hipstery attitudes about things, or maybe hipster's the wrong word, but I kind of feel like, well, I can't play the remake of a game until I've played the actual version of the game. So even though I bought the cartridge for Final Fantasy 3 DS version, I wouldn't allow myself to play it until after... Oh no. Yeah, I wouldn't allow myself to play it until after I finished the NES version, which I had to play as an emulation. Excuse me, I suddenly have to cough. So yeah, basically, I didn't play the DS version until after I played the original, and I think I played them back to back too, which was kind of silly, but you know, whatever. It's the DS version is so good too. It's definitely one of those games wherein the remake is, let's just admit it, a lot better than the original, because what was strange about the original is that you didn't have predetermined main characters. The first Final Fantasy game was also kind of similar in that regard. You didn't really have, like, this person's name is Joe, and he's a knight, and then this person's name is Sally, and she's a mage. That's not what Final Fantasy 1 or 3 were like at all. You just had these generic templates, and you could make those characters any kind of class you want and name them whatever you want, and they had no backstory or anything. So yeah, so that was interesting. So that's what made Final Fantasy 2 really cool, is that they had very defined main characters in Final Fantasy 2. So that was cool. But yeah, so in the DS remake, they realized that could be a turn-off to some people, so they went ahead and made them defined. Yeah. So after NES version and DS remake version, I don't think I played I forgot about 9. I played 9 in there somewhere. I played 9 between... I don't even know. I think I played 9... I want to say before I played the 3s, but maybe even after... Yeah, because, I mean, eventually they released Final Fantasy V as a Game Boy Advance game, if I remember correctly, and I remember playing that at the same time as playing 9. So, so if that's true, then that's what I did. Oh, nuts, I used the bomb. Is that going to be even effective at all? It's decent. But let's switch out of it. Oh, I should probably use the cat claw. I bet the cat claw is much more powerful. Yeah, let's switch to the cat claw and see what happens. And then, yeah, I still have never finished 7 or 8. Never played 10 or 11 or 12 or 13. So I'm all good on those. Then there was Final Fantasy IV: The After Years, which was a sequel to Final Fantasy IV, and it was pretty interesting for somebody who loves Final Fantasy IV. It was awesome. For anybody else, it probably was like, this is basically just Final Fantasy IV all over again. I mean, it is pretty good, but it's just they reuse a lot of Final Fantasy IV. And I don't just mean the same dungeons and stuff, but like a lot of the plot just feels like, I feel like this is Final Fantasy IV in some instances, but it's still pretty good. And in fact, I've played that several times. I played it once entirely by myself, another time with a friend, and then once again when there was like this special version that came out on the PlayStation PSP of Final Fantasy IV, and then the After Years and like a combo thing together. I played that. Yeah, so lots of Final Fantasy IV: The After Years played in my time. So many enemies in this dungeon, holy moly. Some of these episodes have gotten super long, and some of them have been super short, so I was going to set a timer so I could try to keep them all around like the same, between 10 and 15 minutes sort of thing, because I have no concept of time. I have no idea right now if it's been 5 minutes or 20 minutes, no way of knowing for sure. So yeah, not sure what to do about that exactly. Let's see here. Heal potion, blind is a problem. Oh jeez. Okay. Yeah, I'm not killing all of the monsters right now because I'm just trying to figure out where am I exactly? What is the point of this whole area, there were so many other areas that I could have experienced that I didn't go to, so... Okay. That little animation is pretty amusing. Oh my gosh, you better kill this guy. Missed. She's not blind, right? Oh my gosh, she's dead. So we could restart that battle over, but thank goodness. This seems to be going much better. Ish. Missed. Oh my gosh. But we're almost at those treasure chests. Okay, there we go. Okay, so anything interesting in these treasure chests? Arrows, good. She needs arrows, and heal potions. We need heal potions. I'm just going to avoid those enemies and then return. I'm sure that this is the way I want to ultimately go, and those monsters will still be there, so I'm just going to let them live a little while longer while I go and find out what's happening over here. Oh, I thought I was able to go up there, and that was one of the places that I was planning on exploring, but I guess not. Maybe there is nothing else to explore. And this is all going to be a hilarious waste of time. Well, there's this Minotaur that needs to die. Oh, I guess it's not a Minotaur, it was a Centaur. Yeah, I mean, I probably should have went ahead and did the battlefields. Oh, well. I mean, not on screen. I should have done them off screens, but I should have done them is the point, because I'm not under-leveled, but I'm definitely not over-leveled, that's for sure. Oh, darn it. I hate the fact that if I don't unequip the bombs, then I waste them, because they're not that effective. And oh shoot, there we go. Missed. Paralyzed. Okay. I don't remember what the deal is with this area. Nothing. There is no deal with that area. Wait, is this the area to the funnel boss? Seems a bit abrupt. Suppose it could be. But then what was that whole other area? Just a way of getting a bunch of new treasures, or... So many enemies. Yeah. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, yeah, I definitely... Yeah, I don't know, I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should call it the end of the episode, exit this place, go ahead and take care of the battlefields, come back and finish up this dungeon, because this is not going so well. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've died twice now in a row. It might help if I would... Well, I can't... That's the other tricky thing, is that's the one unforgiving aspect, is it's not like they set you... It's not like if you die, then they set you immediately right outside of the battle so that you can decide whether you want to go through the battle again, or if you just want to avoid it, or anything like that. Or if maybe you might want to heal before entering the battle, which would be really helpful. Okay, phew, I can't believe I survived that. Okay. So now we save, we use Cure Potion, which I'm running out of, and probably will have, okay, I've got 3 left, that's exciting. Let's see how these Sparnas like her bow. They do not like her bow. As I expected. Okay, well, she needs arrows, so that's good. Oops. I don't know, maybe it would be good to save. Okay, yeah, this does not look like it's the way to the boss. This just looks like a place to kill some monsters. Which I guess I will do anyway, because I do need to level up a little bit, obviously. Some more Sparnas. Okay. This room is almost clear, and then I can go back to that other area I was at. I mean, this is kind of an interesting dungeon design. This way lets you go to the top area, which has some treasure chests, and then the other way lets you go to the actual area, which I assume, yay, level up! And yay, cure potions, which lets you go to the actual area where the boss actually is. So that's cool. Uh-oh. And she's paralyzed, so this is no good. I don't remember how long those status ailments last. She's got a lot of HP, so she might get out of the paralyzing, but in a weird sort of way, it'd almost be better if they killed her, because then that'd be a lot of healing involved. Yeah, okay, fine. Because it's not super likely that she's going to get paralyzed again. Why did I attack it? Oh, well, at least it killed it instantly, so that's good. Okay, and this time I will be smart. He will attack that one, she will attack this one. I've been kind of haphazard lately with my attacking, which might be a little bit why these battles haven't gone super well. Okay. This room is now clear. And you know what? That's a lot of killing. I bet this episode is super long. That's probably going to do it for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next episode when we finish this dungeon. See you then. Bye.